During 1 month, I've lost every single nerve cell I had left. Ended up with gray hair and honestly just got really tired. And it's all because of AI girls. You're wondering how that happened, aren't you? In my previous video, I created my AI model Diana Zuko, built up her social media with millions of views, reached a monetization result of nearly $1,000, and then, after posting my first video about AI models, I found out the dark side of that success. Shadow bans instead deleting my accounts, expenses for chatters, monetizing other people's loneliness, and even bribes to Instagram worth several $1,000s. On the other hand, I managed to earn much more from the AI model. To be honest, more than I could have imagined at the start of my experiment. By the end of the month, I had even assembled a team of 8 successful AI models and was able to expand my earnings even further. But here what I can say with the complete confidence. Making money this way is worth far more than you might think. And while the first video might have seemed like a fairy tale about free money, this one will give you a more realistic idea of the AI model's niche. So by the end of the video, you won't just find out how much I've earned in this industry, but you'll also understand what the income is really worth. See that guy? Yeah, that's me at the end of February, and right then I started a new experiment. What if I tried to make as much money as possible from AI models in a month? And as you've probably figured out, the countdown started right from that moment. Well, I hope you enjoy watching it, and I'll take some rest. Let's take a look at the results I've already achieved by the start of our experiment. I created Diana and in 4 weeks managed to grow her to the following metrics: 3K followers on Instagram, 15K followers on TikTok, and $800 in earnings from her private community. You liked the first video so much that it got almost 100K views. So I created a separate media project as a Discord and Telegram called Influ. A full guide on how to create and monetize your own AI girl and lots of other interesting content have already been published on the channel, so you can check it all out. This will probably make your own AI influencing path much easier. The link will be in the description. And after the first video about creating AI models was released, the audience literally flooded Diana's comments on TikTok, Telegram, and Instagram with this kind of content. And you have no idea how bad it's for Diana's future. We've also arranged for Diana to collaborate with a vape brand. Our girl was offered $1,200 for 60 videos produced for the brand, but the clients don't know yet that she's just an AI girl. Don't worry, we'll be calling them in a couple of days, so you will see their reaction pretty soon. We will use these results on Diana's monetization and audience reach as our start point. Now, what exactly is the point of the whole experiment? I want to test every single monetization strategy in the content industry by applying them to the AI model's niche. I plan to create a wish list so fans can buy gifts for Diana. I'll sell ad space on her blog, try to monetize music content, and create videos with soundtracks for a fee. Maybe even create my own product and redirect the audience there. In fact, you have no idea what type of format I'm using for all these ideas. Trust me, this content might be a bit shocking for you. But to fully test all these strategies, we need to generate more traffic. Yes, we've already achieved some decent results, but you have to admit that's not enough to start contacting major brands out of the blue, asking fans to send us gifts or create our own handcrafting course, or even to keep making money from paid content on a different platform. So, we have 2 goals. The first is to turn Diana into a real influencer, not just a small one. We need to come up with new content formats for her, create a few more videos that reach 1 million views, and boost her reach by gaining thousands of new subs. The second is to step up our efforts with Diana's private community. After all, this strategy also brings a decent profit. And finally, to clarify the situation with the vape advertising contract. I wonder how they'll react to the fact that Diana is fake. Let's get to work. Now I have 24 days left. A week has gone by, and to be honest, the experiment isn't going that smoothly. To begin with, we created lots of new formats for Diana's social media. Here, Diana suddenly changed her look right in the middle of the shoot with a glitch effect. Here are her travel memories, and here she's even jamming out on a MIDI keyboard. Basically, we tried finding a way to go viral again, but we never managed to break out of Diana's usual range of 10,000 to 20,000 views. So yeah, we spent another couple of of bucks on generation and got almost no results on our social media. However, it's a good thing that these expenses are easily covered by the profits from Diana's private community. As soon as the experiment started, we hired a chatter. That's the term used for specialists who handle all aspects of managing a model's private community, updating content, warming up the audience, and of course interacting with fans. And within the very first week I realized just how effective this decision had turned out to be. There aren't many experienced chatters out there, so I asked a friend of mine to help me with it. Well, we made about $300 in 7 days. Also, Diana has started to attract much more loyal fans, like this guy named Roger. The chat manager must have gone a bit too far and got way too involved in chatting with him. And after that, Roger literally fell in love with Diana. Every day he asks how she's doing, gives her compliments, and then asks her to send him something exclusive. The AI-generated label on Diana's profile doesn't seem to bother him much either. While we were working on the private community and uploading videos, we finally got on a call with that vape brand. And this time, it was me on the call instead of Diana. And even though the brand's producer had seemed really excited and enthusiastic during our first call, saying how the team was looking forward to working with Diana, this time things didn't go as planned. Even though we had requested the call to discuss the details of our collaboration, the producer said that the purpose of the meeting was actually to find out whether Diana was an AI or not. Then she even added that they had already suspected something. But I don't really think so, considering our first incredibly emotional call with a brand. All in all, the reaction to our confession was highly questionable and far less cheerful than expected, and in the end they refused to continue working with us. We've already got some decent results from the private community, so now we just need to make Diana's Instagram and TikTok even more popular. At least we've built up a small followers base. Starting from the scratch would be much harder. Right? I have 21 days left until the end of the experiment, and we are starting from the scratch. I've got really bad news. So Instagram has just blocked our account we've been working on for over a month, and I have no idea what to do now. It seems that after my video was posted, some of my channel's followers did more than just leave comments on Diana's page. Apparently, Instagram received a lot of complaints about our girl's profile. The platform requested additional verification via phone number, a selfie, and a passport. We provided all this information, and literally a couple of hours later, we received a notification that Diana's account had been completely blocked. The reason: violation of the community guidelines. And that's when things started to get really weird. I immediately started researching the topic and realized that AI models face bans quite often. Some of my friends even shared the contact info of a guy who works at Meta. He doesn't just help get accounts unbanned. His services even include getting the verification checkmarks for AI accounts, and he does it all using his inside connections. Yep, real bribes to Instagram. I sent him our account's details and received the following offer: $2,000 to unlock Diana. What do you think? Is it worth it? I decided it's not. After all, last time we managed to grow an Instagram account from 0 to 3,000 followers in just 3 weeks. Obviously, it would be much cheaper to create a new account than trying to revive an old one with such low results. These types of bans are pretty common in the sphere of AI models, and models encounter them all the time. That's why I decided to slightly change the focus of our work. For the next 2 weeks, we'll be developing Diana's new media platforms while also still working on our private community. Even though the monetization is not that significant there, it's growing well. Roger still texts us every day, and some of our audience comes to our private group from our Telegram channel and TikTok. So far we've earned over 600 since February 19th, so it wouldn't make sense to give up on this idea. I'm not gonna pay $2,000 to the Instagram employee. I'm just going to rebuild Diana's accounts again, achieve even better results, and only then I will focus on boosting Diana's monetization. Clearly, without impressive metrics, it makes no sense to look for new ways to make money yet. Just months ago, we were able to easily reach our desired range in just a couple of weeks. That means we'll definitely be able to do it again, right? I couldn't make it. Over the past 2 weeks, we've tried out a bunch of different formats on Diana's Instagram and TikTok. Makeup and hairstyle tutorials by Diana Zuko, videos with meme sounds where Diana interacts with an AI friend just like her, photos of Diana from her childhood added to her current pictures. Look, here's Diana playing Counter-Strike, here she's cosplaying as her favorite anime character, and here she's just hanging out on chat roulette. And the result is, we never managed to get past 10,000 views on Instagram even though we tried a a bunch of different ideas. At the same time, we kept the private community in mind and continued to work on it in a less active way, with the help of our chatter. Yeah, we earned less than we did in the first week of the experiment, which means the lack of a new audience did have an impact on our income. After 2 weeks, we earned another $400, bringing our total income for the 25-day experiment to just over 1,000. But you know, even in the darkest times, the people closest to us are still there no matter what. People like Roger. This cheerful guy is still the top sponsor. Every day he asks Diana what she is up and then asks her to do stuff on camera. It's not exactly a platonic relationship, but I'm not judging. This guy has already donated nearly $300 to Diana. The total income from the private community covered the costs of the chatter and content generation. We even managed to turn a small profit, but it's too early to call it a success. We are moving forward. Although we didn't achieve the desired result, we are still making money from the private page, so we should definitely focus more on it. It's currently March 15, which means there is just over a week left until the end of the experiment. During this time, we'll be putting all our efforts into getting Diana's current followers to join the private community. We will be staying active on Telegram, communicating more frequently with fans on FanView, and focusing on those sources of monetization. But that doesn't mean that we won't test another ways to make money. Pretty much the only thing standing in the way of increasing Diana's monetization is a lack of traffic. For the past 25 days, my team has been working on new monetization strategies for the AI influencer niche, hoping to successfully build on an audience for Diana. Apparently, it never happened. And when I realized that the only missing piece was traffic, I came up with a brilliant idea. If we can't get a new audience with Diana's case, we need to find AI models that already have an audience. I'll offer to help them boost their monetization by taking a percentage of our shared profits. For them, it's a great experience and a solid basis for future monetization. For me, it's a share of the profits and great content. Seems like everyone's winning. So I started search for AI models who are up for collabs through my own sources, and by the evening I've already found many cases that could be of use here. Trendy, dark-skinned girls with scars covering half of their faces, AI models who gained popularity only using threads, and even an AI model with a dwarf father. Honestly, it was really tough to pick out truly unique cases. But in the end, I shortlisted a few models and decided to just call their creators up. Meet Alex, just like me. He created his own AI girl, Lina, who has 20k followers on Instagram and over 50k on TikTok. As you can tell, I've decided to team up with him. After many phone calls with the candidates, we picked 8 people. And here they are. Lina, as you already know, has Asian features. Akira has 16k followers and a pretty well-developed private chat on Telegram. 2 models from the same creator, Naomi and Kim, with 30k and 50k followers on TikTok. An AI model from Kazakhstan, Saya, with 20k followers on Instagram, and Goth Girl with 8k followers on Instagram. And other 2 remarkable cases. Greg, an AI-generated man with vitiligo who has nearly 100k Instagram followers, and the redhead girl from US with a scar and over 56k Instagram followers. Trust me, these guys have no idea just how significant and in some cases surprising the results will be by the end of our week working together. And I'm not just talking about the amount of money they will earn. You'll see what I mean by that pretty soon. Let's break down the list of the tasks we need to complete this week. Firstly, private communities. We provide complete support to absolutely everyone in managing their communities. We'll help them respond to fans, build up their pages, set up promotions, and we'll also give them the ability to generate content using the workflow we've developed. Yes, we've spent the entire month building our own tool for creating high-quality AI content featuring any girl, so it's time to test it out on other models and not just on Diana. It's pretty clear how to monetize private communities. But what about other monetization methods? There are plenty of them, so let's test them one by one. Each model will create their own wishlist to receive gifts from fans. We'll also be responding to job offers as our models managers and exploring other monetization opportunities, such as posting music videos and other promotional activities during the week. Finally, as a bonus, we've decided to create a training course from Greg, the AI man with vitiligo. A huge part of his audience consists of American men aged 35 and older, so we want to try creating an educational guide dedicated to weight loss and staying in good shape after 30. A slight spoiler, we'll launch the course and even go to a few interviews. But the profit result from all these activities will be, well, let's just say it will be unexpected. I only have 5 days left until the end of experiment. Now we are on the 3rd day of working together on 8 models, and we've got quite a few updates. To begin with, a producer from a TikTok agency contacted us and provided us with a price list for ads and lip sync videos on our models' accounts. Reels were priced at $540 for a pack of 10 to 12 videos on Instagram and TikTok. According to him, his price range for Reels is pretty much the same across all our models. However, the prices for direct product advertising vary significantly from model to model. The producer estimated the cost of the stories plus post plus Reels package as follows: $470 for that red-haired model, $340 for Greg, $240 for Lena, and $160 for all the other content makers. The producer promised to come back with more details after reaching out to potential clients, but we still haven't heard anything from him. The response rate is also disappointing. On the 3rd day, we had already sent out over 200 partnership requests, reaching out to brands on Instagram, multiple websites, and even on Telegram groups. Basically everywhere. The responses we got were either complete silence, a short reply saying the request had been forwarded to management, or we were offered a deal to promote dietary supplements at a very low price. Overall, our attempts have been mostly unsuccessful so far. And to be honest, by the 3rd day, many of my expectations had been shattered by harsh reality. Some of the models created wish lists and added gifts of all price ranged from expensive jewelry to small outfits and perfume. Then all the authors made Insta stories about those wish lists to convince fans to buy them gifts. Some hinted that their birthday was coming up, while Lena, for example, mentioned that she was planning to start a career as a streamer. So yeah, she asked for a custom-built PC as a gift. Then we waited for the results, but we never actually saw any activity on this wish list, except for a couple hundred views, according to the stats. And that isn't the only bad news. On the 3rd day, Alex, the creator of Lena's AI model, tried to log into FunView, but received a message saying that the login details were incorrect. What would you think if we were him? Maybe he just forgot his password. There weren't any notifications in his email, so his account definitely wasn't hacked. It's a confusing situation, isn't it? After contacting the support team, Alex found out that Lena's account had been blocked on FunView. Why? As expected, it was a violation of the community guidelines. That's obviously bad news, because now we will have to spend another couple of days setting up a new account. That means we will lose out on some profit. Meanwhile, the development of Greg's course was progressing as planned. Creating a detailed and excited course in just 1 week would be tough, so we've settled on a short test class lasting from 3 to 5 minutes. In the video, Greg will offer tips on calorie counting and nutrition and demonstrate the proper technique for performing the exercises. Basically, the highlights. This test class will let us see how interested Greg's audience is in this kind of content, and we will figure out if we should launch a full course. We won't get it until the end of the week, so let's move on to the best news from the past 3 days. I'm talking about private communities. One of the insights I've noted at that point is running FunView and a private community on Telegram at the same time turns out to really boost the income. By Wednesday, Akira had managed to earn about $500 on FunView, and check this out, over 120 on Telegram. And it's easy to see why. FunView isn't available in every country, so some fans find it more convenient to follow the model and chat with her on Telegram. At the same time, we received a few content purchases from the God Girl, totaling $25, one $10 subscription in Kim's private chat. And the most impressive case. We've got over $1,200 from a Red Hat Girl's private chats, and all that money came from a single donator. On the very first day of the experiment, he came in like a hurricane and without hesitation. Bought pictures for $400, $300 and $500. Then he wrote a meaningful "oh yeah" and mentioned that he'd hit his credit card limit. Well, not the most passionate fan. Definitely not close to Roger. The main conclusion I've come to so far is that the experiment isn't going quite as planned. Yes, my total income from private communities has already reached nearly $2,000, but the new monetization methods still aren't working. Although just a couple of days later we finally noticed some changes. It's been 30 days since we started our experiment, and we've finally had our first interview. Akira was offered a deal to promote a drawing app for the iPad. The terms: payment based only on the number of views at $0.2 per thousand. This could be a decent source of passive income for a model in the long term. But during the interview, we learned a couple of important details. I thought we'd be the ones to surprise everyone by saying that the girl doesn't exist, but it turned out the opposite. The recruiter stated clearly that she didn't care whether the girl was an AI or not. The main thing is to show impressive results in views, but the terms turned out to be much less interesting. For our location, we'd get about 4 cents per 1,000 views on Instagram. Is that worth it? Obviously not. And yeah, we haven't received any new responses either, even though we've sent more than 500 requests. But I got this pretty cool offer to advertise AI that writes essays and term papers for Naomi. The model's creator even made a test assignment and recorded a voiceover for it with his girlfriend.
Неделю сидишь над одной главой, переписываешь, исправляешь, и все равно не нравится. Я была в той же ситуации.
But it turned out that AI cannot advertise other AI. Yeah, they figured out our girls as AI and we got rejected. Meanwhile, Naomi suddenly popped up on Facebook's recommendations. Yep, you heard that right. The creator Nick tried uploading the video directly to Facebook and ended up with about 9k followers in just a couple of days. We'll definitely be moving this audience over to a private community. Speaking of the private community, by the middle of the week, our strategy to manage Diana's Telegram channel was finally starting to pay off. Breaking news. Unfortunately, Roger has been knocked off the top donators. Well, actually not so unfortunate. Diana's private community has grown to 5 new major donators, and while chatting with them has brought us over $700 of income. The content there really isn't for this sensitive. What do you think of this message? You are a cheap, filthy pig and you belong completely to my master. Okay, I'll stop here. Of course, there were also some really sweet messages. Here's a guy asking about Diana's relationship with her parents. Then for some reason he mentions that he is a vegetarian and asks if Diana likes cats. Then he asks her to send a picture of her cat. Well, it's pretty clear what he meant by that. So yeah, we got a couple of Riz masters here. Diana's total income on the 30th day of the experiment amounts to over $1,700. And I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but over the past 5 days our new models have already started coming close to matching our beloved Diana's success. For example, Saya from Kazakhstan managed to sell content on Telegram and FunView for a total of nearly $200, while Akira's total earnings have already reached $856. It's easy to see just how good the combination of a Telegram private community and FunView is working. At the same time, the red-headed American girl also sold content for about $100. As a result, we've reached a total of nearly $2,400 from the new girls. There are only a few days until the end of the experiment. Greg's course is almost finished, so it's time for the final push. We've decided to put all our efforts into managing the girls' private communities. My team is actively creating content for the models, and starting from today, we've decided to apply Diana's chatting strategy to all the models as much as possible. No direct sales, just constant interaction with fans through casual conversation, and only then moving on to more explicit topics. Let's see how it goes. Well guys, we did manage to show you some results, but I'll be honest, we didn't quite meet the deadline, and I've decided to extend the experiment so we can show more impressive results. First, the applications. Please note, during the whole time we've applied to more than 800 job offers. About 300 of those responses were on Instagram, 390 on the websites, 90 on Telegram, and 28 via email. Most of the responses were obviously ignored. Sometimes brands would send discount promo codes instead of responding to a collaboration offer. I get that these are just small things, but by the end of the experiment, we ended up getting a few really good offers. The first one is for a red-headed girl from America. She was offered to promote a plastic surgery clinic. $540 for 60 reels a month, and all the reels will be posted on the clinic's own account. It's actually a pretty good offer. And the other impressive case, we're talking about Lena, whose FunView account was blocked. We never managed to get great results from her private community, but on the 6th day of the experiment, she received an offer to promote an anti-dandruff product. The terms a fixed fee of $540 plus a negotiable bonus. That sounds even better, so Alex and I are definitely going to work on this offer. Maybe I'll show you this in the third part of experiment. We'll see. Next up is Greg's course. And yes, we have finally finished it.
Let's get into the proper form for sit-ups.
As you can see, it all looks like just another typical workout guide from a fitness content creator. I'm sure some people wouldn't even be able to tell the difference from the IRL short content, but unfortunately the results we got from it didn't meet our expectations. After we finally finished the course, it turned out that such content was neither interesting to the audience nor to the creator of this AI man. Therefore, we decided to move on. Honestly, I'm really disappointed about that. Would you guys go to a coach like that? I definitely would. And even though the the results from the other monetization methods didn't really inspire me at first. Things started to look different towards the end. We got some useful contacts and offers for our models, but let's move on to the really good profits. Here is what our final income from private communities looks like. At first, let me share Diana's results. For nearly 2 weeks, we kept our Telegram audience hyped up with live posts and mentions of the private community. We even recorded a video message with Diana, which boosted audience engagement. We also changed our strategy for private content. We generated it every day and no longer posted it on our page, but instead we set it directly to top donators for a price of around $50-70. Thankfully, we had managed to get enough of them during the pre-launch campaign. We ended making nearly $3,200 during this experiment, and that doesn't include the $800 earned from the first video. You have to admit, this result is already close to the top model's earnings, but you haven't seen the total earnings for all influencers yet. Our strategy of slowly engaging our existing fans didn't just work, it completely exceeded our expectations. First, we saw much better results from Sai in Kazakhstan and from Akira. They kept selling new content using Telegram and FunView, which allowed them to achieve impressive results. Over 1100 for Sasha and almost 1500 for Akira. The second thing is, as you remember, Naomi got a huge following on Facebook, so we managed to build a fan base from there. As always, we included a link to the private community in the description and used stories to attract the audience. And because of that, Nick, the creator of this model, got many new fans. And there were some interesting moments. For example, one man asked Naomi to fantasize about being intimate with him and the AI model's mom. I don't really want to get too deep into the conversation, so let's just get straight to the profits. Okay. By the end of the experiment, Naomi had earned about $200. Yeah, it's probably not the most impressive result, but for a very unusual Facebook sales campaign that's just getting started, this result is actually pretty good. Although, in the end, the other model broke all the records. You gotta see this. The redhead girl literally broke all our records. The girl's creator posted an offer for her fans on Telegram, a free 5-day trial subscription to her private channel for the first 10 subscribers. As a result, more than 10 fans signed up, and we started messaging them. Using the same build-up slow strategy again, we made a couple $100 in profit, but that wasn't enough. And then that American guy from earlier came back to the chat. We generated 4 videos using our work for a top donator and sent them to him for $500. He replied that he'd been a baseball game for a really long time, which is why he hadn't reached out. Then he bought all our videos and one more photo for an extra $500, saying that his card hit its credit limit again. Well, poor guy. Now let's count our total earnings from monetization. So I guess you understand why I was so tired at the beginning of the video, right? Alright, let's count the total earnings from all the AI models. By the end of the experiment, we had earned over $6,868 from all the AI girls under our management, plus $3,200 from Diana's private messages. Total over $10,000 in gross income. All of this in just over a month of full involvement in the industry. Add to that the $1,100 fixed fees that we have potentially earned from offers found for Lina and the red-haired girl, and we get nearly $11,000. The income sounds impressive, but now let's talk about the less pleasant part of the whole journey. How much did it cost me and my team to manage Diana and the other models? In just over a month, we spent about $600 on the AI tools for Diana. I'm talking 2 Hicksville subscriptions and $250-300 spent on RunPod and vast workflow management services. It doesn't seem like much, but then I remembered about our chatter. The guy received 2 payments of $650 and nearly $1,000. In total, we've already spent over $2,000. By the way, the creators of other models that I worked with spent significantly less, about $300-400 on servers for workflow management and $200 on Hicksville. That comes out to about $2,700-2,800 in expenses. Sure, that's a win for us, but that brings up another question. Is it even worth it? Even using a slightly unfair strategy involving the development of other AI models, I can truly say that we've only touched the tip of the iceberg in this niche. There are many hidden pitfalls in it, and we haven't even seen most of them yet. Also, after testing multiple monetization ideas, I can say that the most effective way to make money in this niche is still monetizing loneliness. Yeah, it has a huge potential, but to be honest, only the most creative people will succeed in the industry. So the conclusion is simple. You can definitely
definitely make money in this industry, but it's definitely not for everyone.
Basically, the AI influencer industry is just like the average influencers industry. If you are ready to break into the niche, be creative, test new monetization strategies, and implement the ones that work, then probably it's the best time to get started. If you are looking for easy money, this industry probably isn't for you. Right now, on my private Discord and Telegram channel on Flu, I've posted a guide on how to create your own AI model. It explains how to choose a niche, how to generate videos, and how to properly set up accounts on social media, TikTok and Instagram, as well as how to promote your model. We've also created our own closed private community that any of you can join. It's packed with perks, valuable life hacks, and successful AI influencers. It also includes all the insights on key contexts that you saw in this video. Follow the link in the description or the QR code on the screen and subscribe to my Discord and Telegram channel on Flu.
I'm pretty sure that all the monetization methods I've tried to test will also be relevant to this niche. Probably not right now, but in the near future. There might even be a third part of the video. Who knows? If you are interested in watching this AI influencing journey with live cases, let me know in the comments. Like the video and please subscribe my YouTube channel, because I'm a young man on YouTube. Let me know what would you like to see in the third part of my experiment. If you're interested, we'll keep bringing you great content. See you all later.